pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, as Council President Levon is out of town, I will call to order the regular council meeting of February 24th, 2025. We will call the roll and then elect the Council President Pro Tem to continue the meeting. So, Bala?
Here.
Gerhardstein?
Here.
Jaworski?
Here.
Koski? Here. Levon is excused. Zaloto? Here. Thielman?
Here.
All right, need a motion to elect the Council President Pro Tem.
Make a motion to nominate Councilman Gerhardstein as Council President Pro Tem. Second.
All right, motion by Councilperson Jaworski, second by Councilperson Koski, that Councilperson Gerhardstein be elected as Council President Pro Tem for the February 24th, 2025 meeting. Any discussion? Okay, Bella?
Yes.
Gerhardstein?
Yes.
Jaworski?
Yes.
Koski?
Yes.
Saloto?
Yes.
Thielman?
Yes.
It's yours.
Approval of council minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve councilmen's from February 10th, 2025.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Thielman, a second from Councilwoman Saloto to approve the council meeting minutes from February 10th, 2025. Discussion? Sandy, can you please call the roll?
Bella?
Yes.
Gerhardstein?
Yes.
Jaworski?
Yes.
Koski?
Yes.
Saloto?
Yes.
Thielman?
Yes.
We have communications from the mayor, safety director. He is not here, so he has his report. I will read. He said, on tonight's agenda, the first reading are for the budget and salary ordinances. He would like to thank council and the directors for all their work that went into preparing this year's budget. The state of the city, we will begin preparing for this event, which will be held in conjunction with the city schools district on Tuesday, April 15th at the community center. Details will be available when we get closer to the event. So, communications from the director of law.
Nothing to report, Mr. Council Pro Tem.
There is no communications from the council president. So do we have any agenda adjustments to the agenda? If not, we'll go on to the administrators. Chief Bush is not here, but I'm going to add something to his report. He sent an email out that says that he was notified by the Lake County Bluecoats Association that Officer Regner and Officer Dodona will be receiving the George Medina Distinguished Service Award this coming Wednesday, February 26, 2025. It's a Blue Coats Award for their heroic actions responding to the shooting incident on East 290th Street on April 16, 2024. This is a highly coveted award, and he's extremely proud of these two officers and the entire Wickliffe Police Department. We will move on to Fire Chief Grossman.
Thank you, Councilman Gerhardstein. I'll echo on the Blue Coats Award. When the EMS arrived and we got there, the two officers were applying tourniquets, life-saving measures. So it was outstanding. So it's truly a high level of training within the police department, and aids us in our ALS response when we show up, when they've already got those initial life-saving measures in place, plus the scene secure, so that we know we can come in. So that was definitely well deserved by the police department, those officers. We completed in the fire department our annual Med-Account EMS revenue billing audit for the year. So I will attach some information in the next notes for the next council meeting. They're finalizing a few things. We did outstanding in our audit. Transports are down, calls are up. It's a trend that's kind of happening. A lot of releases, public assist, and so forth. So we're seeing, and but in the end, the revenue is up. Medicare, Medicaid, they've bumped their recuperation amount that we can get for EMS bills a little bit higher. So revenue is going up even though we're transporting less. And include that if anyone has any questions. Please feel free to reach out and, I can shed some light on anything if you have any questions. That's it, thank you.
Any questions for the fire chief? Councilman Jaworski.
Chief, you mentioned the number from Medicare, Medicaid, et cetera, going up. Do we need to change any ordinances on our end just to keep things all good?
We do not. The ordinance has the mayor or his designee as far as our billing amount. We bill at the standard rate, which is a lot higher than what Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance pays out. And then we soft bill. We do not collect residents or balance bill, collect residents. So the resident will not be responsible for any EMS bills that come through. It's just whatever their insurance will cover is what we collect. So our rates are at a pretty good level. We may tweak a few things, but that's something within the ordinance that talk to the mayor and we can just do. So, thank you.
Any other questions for the fire chief? Thank you, chief.
Thank you.
Finance director Hunter.
Thank you, Mr. Council Pro Temp. I have nothing.
Any questions for the finance director? Thank you. The city engineer was excused. Service director.
Thank you, Councilman Harstein. The only thing I have to add is that the Drenick Drive sewer rehab program that they had done it's coming to an end. They just redid all the manholes and did all the seals on top of the castings and stuff like that. And then once the snow is gone, they're gonna come back and do like the topsoil and stuff, like where they raised all the people's risers there. And the Empire Sewer Project is on its way. They did a bunch of sewer digs on Cary Lane. And then also to add, they put the poles up on Rush Road and Twin Lakes for the lighting. So those four are lit up now and everything. I don't understand though, they look like they were the older style lights, which I'm kind of concerned. I'm gonna make a call on that and see why they're the older ones. And that's all I got.
Is there any questions or comments for the service director? I have one. When I was talking to the city engineer, and I was hoping you would be able to elaborate on this, he was talking that he needs authorization from council to begin engineering on Parkwood and Euclid Avenue. He needed authorization from council to start that. Do you know?
He hasn't spoken to me about that with anything, not that I'm aware of.
No. Ray, do you know anything about that? He said he needed council's authorization to start the engineering on Parkwood and Euclid
I know
Avenue.
he talked to us about it, and I think he's gotta ask you guys to spend the money,
Right, okay. Well, you don't know anything,
No, he's never spoken to me about even like the rehab for the slab program or anything about that.
no, he just specifically said he needed council to start, but since he's not here, we'll take that up with him at the next council meeting.
Okay.
Any other further questions?
I guess just to piggyback off of that, traditionally, if memory serves correct, we don't do that until, because that's within the budget itself, we don't do that until after the budget's been passed.
Okay. Any other question? Thank you. Building Commissioner Sack.
Thank you, Council President Pro Tem. I did talk to the contractor today on the new street there, and I asked him to take it easy on Silver. Don't try to stay off there as much as he can, because he'll come in through Lincoln, where the old school was, and they're gonna stage there, and then they'll go from there.
Okay.
And, if you have any problems or anybody has any problem, give me a call.
Does anybody have any questions for the Building Commissioner? Thank you, Commissioner Sack. Recreation Director Stock.
Thank you, Council President Pro Tem. I have nothing to add to my previous report.
Does anybody have any questions or comments for the Recreation Director? Thank you, Tim. This is audience participation. I know that this time is set up. Portion of the meeting is intended for the audience to address the council and the mayor, not the director. Anybody wishing to address city council must use the microphone, and the meeting is streamed on YouTube, and must acknowledge to give their name and address for the clerk's record, and will be given 5 minutes maximum for their comments. Would anybody like to address city council? Would anybody like to address city council? We will mark audience participation closed. Committee reports?
That would be me. Finance Committee meeting on February 17th, called to order at 7 p.m. Purpose was the 2025 annual budget. Present Jaworski, Koski, Saloto, Thielman, Hartstein. Excused was Levon. Also present Chief Bush, Chief Grossman, Service Director Krafchek, Recreation Director Staub, Mayor Sakis, City Engineer Formica, and Finance Director Hunter. Service Director Krafchek began by saying we had 44 new streetlights in 2024, each cost $240. There will be 94 lights on Ridge Road, 4 on Parkwood, and 2 on Kerry Lane that need to be replaced this year. Finance Director Hunter said there's plenty of money for these in the streetlight fund, so it won't affect the budget. Randy asked about the foreclosure and property maintenance and vacancy projection, and Ray said it has been changed and is now $40,000. Randy's also concerned about the real estate tax projection. That is $300,000 more than last year because commercial real estate tax in Wickliffe has gone down drastically, although residential real estate taxes have increased. Peyton, the finance director, said there was a typo and that the revenue and expenses should be the same number for capital road projects. Matt asked about engineering costs for Euclid Avenue. Pete said $250,000 will come from the highway, city highway fund, and $436,000 is in the roads line item. Euclid Avenue is a $7 million project, and we have $8.5 billion in secured funding, but believe that the state will make changes, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen with that. Jim asked about getting new controllers for traffic lights, if there's any extra money, but was told by Pete that they would need to be paid out of a different fund. Randy wanted to know if there was money left from last year's capital fund. The finance director said there's $300,000 and we will not have to transfer any money. She also said OPWC funding and payments need to be reduced by $200,000 for slab repair. Pete spoke about slab repair, saying he thought East 300th would be resurfaced, but the cost to pave had an error in the funding numbers, so we didn't receive it. Ray spoke about the necessity to increase the monthly pay for planning commission and zoning secretaries to $350 each meeting. He also requested that zoning change charges be increased to $1,500 from $250. Advertising alone costs $300, so we have been losing money. Because of the length of the planning meetings, there is discussion to look into AI software to help with note-taking. The service director said there's been 21 straight days of salt usage beginning in January, and there will probably be a price increase on salt because of demand. To be safe, he is requesting another $20,000. Randy asked if there'd be further cuts in the budget because he is not in favor of voting for it as it stands. He believes the raises given this year are high, and if the budget was under $1 million, he would vote for it. The mayor said that the total for raises is not crazy, and we don't want to sacrifice services. Additionally, Jim, Tom, Sherry, and Maria said they would be in favor of the budget as it stands. Matt and Randy are a no. Council President Levon was not at the meeting, so we do not know how he intends to vote. The last issue was the Ohio recreational marijuana tax that the Wickliffe is expecting to receive from having a dispensary in the city, but the state is considering keeping that money. Chief Bush said that the Lake County Sheriff plans to go to Columbus to testify on behalf of local cities. The Finance Department memo of February 19th summarizes the changes made during this meeting. He reported out of committee and recommended the law director to create the 2025 budget ordinance. Meeting adjourned at 7:55. The Finance Department memo, the changes, revenue, vacant and foreclosure fees would be increased by $25,000 to $40,000. OPWC funding decreased by $200,000 to $1,276,800. Expenses, planning secretary salary would be increased by $1,800 to $4,200 for the year. Zoning board secretary salary increased by $1,400 to $2,800 for the year. Salt and snow removal increased by $20,000. Eliminating company streetlights increased by $34,560. OPWC payments decreased by $200,000, and other agency payments increased by $518,300. And that concludes my report.
Commission reports. Councilman Jaworski.
Architecture Review Board met on February 12th, 2025 at 6 p.m. This was a continuation of the meeting that took place rather late in the evening on February 6th, 2025. The Architectural Review Board, with several conditions, granted a request for a new development located at 29240 Euclid Avenue.
Any old business? New business? On to ordinances.
Ordinance number 2025-02 amended. This is the second reading. An ordinance accepting a highway easement granted by 28825 Euclid Avenue LLC unto the city of Wickliffe, Ohio as to a portion of the property located at 28825 Euclid Avenue in said city. Ordinance number 2025-04. This is also the second reading. An ordinance enacting chapter 149.06 officer training payment and reimbursement of the codified ordinances of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio. Ordinance number 2025-07. This is the first reading. An ordinance providing appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio for the period beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025. Ordinance number 2025-08. This is also the first reading. An ordinance providing for the compensation of appointed officials of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio, and repealing any and all other ordinances or parts thereof that may be inconsistent with this ordinance. Ordinance number 2025-09. Also the first reading. An ordinance providing for the compensation of certain salaried and hourly employees of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio, and repealing any and all other ordinances or parts thereof that may be inconsistent with this ordinance. Ordinance number 2025-10, also the first reading, an ordinance providing for the compensation of certain employees of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio, and repealing any and all other ordinances or parts thereof that may be inconsistent with this ordinance. Ordinance number 2025-11, this is also the first reading. An ordinance providing for the compensation and other employment provisions for part-time firefighters of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio, and repealing any and all other ordinances or parts thereof that may be inconsistent with this ordinance.
Mr. Law Director,
Yes.
I need to ask you a question about 2025-11.
Okay.
Section 1, paragraph J. I believe that is not necessary to be in that ordinance, and I think that ordinance just needs to be amended and J be removed.
Because it refers specifically to 2024.
Yeah, I think that was from last year's ordinance. I think it was just carried over by mistake when it was done. I think if you read that section on J, I think that's just from a carryover.
Okay, I'll double check it, talk to the fire chief, make sure it's
And then
unnecessary.
we can run it on second read and amend it, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Ordinance number 2025-12, this is also the first reading. An ordinance providing for the compensation and other employment provisions for special police officers of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio, and repealing any and all other ordinances or parts thereof that may be inconsistent with this ordinance. Ordinance number 2025-13, also the first reading. An ordinance providing for the compensation and other employment provisions for the part-time public safety dispatchers of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio, and repealing any and all other ordinances or parts thereof that may be inconsistent with this ordinance. Ordinance number 2025-14, An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio to enter into a contract with the Ohio Plan Agent Love Insurance Agency for the provision of liability insurance coverage for the city and declaring an emergency.
Suspension. Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Thielman and a second by Councilman Ballard to suspend the rules of council and place ordinance number 2025-14 on third and final reading.
Sandy, if we call discussion.
So yes, discussion. Sandy, please call the roll.
Ballard.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Saloto.
Yes.
Seelman.
Yes.
Adoption.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Saloto, second by Councilman Bala to adopt ordinance 2025-14 as written. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Ballard.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Saloto.
Yes.
Seelman.
Yes.
Ordinance passes.
Ordinance number 2025-15. An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio to enter into a contract with Houston Casualty Company Agent Love Insurance Agency for the provision of cyber liability insurance coverage for the city and declaring an emergency.
Suspension.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Thielman, seconded by Councilwoman Saloto to suspend the rules of council and place ordinance number 2025-15 on third and final reading. Discussion? Sandy, can you please call the roll?
Ballard.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Saloto.
Yes.
Seelman.
Yes.
Adoption.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Saloto, seconded by Councilman Bala to adopt ordinance number 2025-15 as written. Discussion? Sandy, can you please call the roll?
Ballard.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Saloto.
Yes.
Seelman.
Yes.
Ordinance passes. Resolutions? Other legislation? I'll obtain a motion to move into executive session.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Thielman, seconded by Councilman Bala to move into executive session. Discussion? Well, moving executive session pursuant to section 122-22, section G, paragraph 3, for the purpose of pending or imminent court action. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Ballard.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes,
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Saloto.
Yes.
Seelman.
Yes.
so move. Take a 10-minute